What is up guys and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be making some regional forms for my Fakemon region, Earthcore. So far, we've already made the starters, Routen Pokemon, and a bit of filler Pokemon. So, for the theme of my regional forms, I want to base the forms on monsters from folklore, but not just any monsters. I'll be basing them on Filipino and Malaysian monsters. The reason for that is that I'm basing this overall region on the Philippines and Malaysia. I won't base all the Pokemon on Filipino and Malaysian stuff, but anyways, let's get on with the video. So, for the first regional form, I wanted to base it on a Filipino monster, the White Lady. So, first of all, what is a White Lady? Well, basically, they are ghosts of women who died of murder, car accidents, and other stuff like that. They usually wear a pure white dress with their hair covering their face, and their dress can also be black sometimes. So, to make a Pokemon based on the White Lady, I need a pretty girly looking Pokemon. And there's a pretty obvious choice for that. The Gardevoir line. I mean, they're pretty girly Pokemon, and so I decided that they would be perfect for this regional form. Let's get started. So, for Earthcorian Ralts, I'm gonna change the green hair of Ralts into black and make the hair slightly longer. I'm gonna keep the white body, but I'm gonna change the color of the head and hands to gray. I'm also gonna add some red patterns on the side of its head, and I'm gonna make the horns color slightly darker. Earthcorian Ralts, the Ghost Trout Pokemon. It's a Psychic Ghost type, and I made up both of its abilities. And so what the first ability does is that when Earthcorian Ralts is damaged and the trainer uses an item to heal it, its attack goes up. And what Death Song does is that when it dies, the opponent's Pokemon stats get slower. It is now more malicious and evil than normal Ralts. It likes to scare people by silently following walking trainers and haunts them until they have a mental breakdown. It likes to hunt people and Pokemon. It is said that Earthcorian Ralts was born by a mistreated Ralts that died at the hands of a trainer that mistreated it. It will search for the trainer that mistreated it and attack that trainer. Alright, so we're done with the first evolution. Now let's move on to the second evolution, Earthcorian Kirlia. Alright, so here I'm making Earthcorian Kirlia. My plan for it was to do the same thing as Ralts, which is to make the hair black, slightly longer, and make the face and hands gray. But I also made the eyes of Kirlia have patterns below its eyes to symbolize blood leaking from its eyes. Alright, that's done, so now let's move on to the info. Earthcorian Kirlia, the Ghost Dancer Pokemon. Its typing and abilities remain the same. And when it dances, eerie music plays. If someone is watching it, they will eventually feel the music grow louder and more demonic as Earthcorian Kirlia dances even faster. Eventually, Kirlia will attack them. It is always angry, but when a trainer catches it though, it will become happy and will not be angry anymore. It loves to scare people. Alright, so we're done with Ralts and Kirlia, and now let's move on to Gardevoir. So, for Gardevoir, I want to do the exact same thing as I did with Ralts and Kirlia, but I want to remove the gray face and make the face white. I'll still leave the arms gray, though, and I'll change the eye color to a more weirder eye color. And the reason for that is, actually you'll see the reason in the Pokemon's info. So yeah, let's get on with the Pokemon's info. Earthcorian Gardevoir, the White Lady Pokemon. Its typing and abilities are the same as its first two evolutions, and sometimes when a trainer is walking at night in a dark place, eerie music will start to play. The trainer will then feel a chill, followed by a feeling of great fear. Earthcorian Gardevoir will then walk towards them slowly with its head down. The trainer will be frozen with fear, and when Gardevoir gets too close to them, it will let them see its eyes. When a trainer sees its eyes, the trainer will have a great feeling of fear. The Pokemon feeds on fear and will sometimes appear in the backseat of a trainer's car at night and scare them. Alright, so we're done with the Gardevoir line, and now I want to make a Pokemon based on a Malaysian monster because we did one on a Filipino monster, and now I'm going to do one on a Malaysian monster. So, the Malaysian monster I chose to make into a regional form was the giant Malaysian water serpent. So, what is a Malaysian water serpent? Basically, a giant sea dragon or sea snake. Now, I have the perfect Pokemon in mind to make a regional form based on the Malaysian sea serpent. Dratini, it's already like a sea serpent itself, so let's make it. So first, I wanted Dratini to be more rougher looking than its Kanto form. So I made the things on the side of its head sharper, and I decided to give it wings, but then I changed it later on to not give it wings anymore. And I chose a dark color scheme for it, and yeah. So we have Earthcorian Dratini, the water serpent Pokemon. It's a water dragon type, and its ability is Drizzle and Water Dance. So basically, what Drizzle does is that it makes it rain when Earthcorian Dratini enters a battle. And what Water Dance does is that if the weather on the battlefield is rainy, Dratini's accuracy will get higher. Earthcorian Dratini is most commonly found deep in jungle rivers. They are very rare, and there is a high demand for them on the black market. They are very strong and can flip over a small boat easily. There is a high chance that if a river has ancient ruins near it, Earthcorian Dratini will be living there. Alright, we're done with Dratini, so now let's move on to the second evolution, Dragonair. I made its head the normal Dragonair blue, but a little darker. I added 2 more horns on its head and made the tips of its head wings sharper. I made the fur on its body a dark gold, and I planned to have this one's color scheme a bit lighter than Dratini's. And yeah, I'm done. So here we have Earthcorian Dragonair, the water serpent Pokemon. Its typing and ability is the same as Dratini's, and Earthcorian Dragonair was considered a water deity by many ancient tribes, and many offerings were given to it. As a result, it has become very haughty and prideful. Even now, it still expects offerings from the people it sees, but as a result of living in the jungle, it very rarely sees people. When a person sees it, that person is amazed by the beauty of Dragonair and can't help but give it a gift. If it does not receive a gift when the person meets it, it will be angry and will attack the person. Alright, we're done with Dragonair and Dratini, so now time for the last Pokemon I'm going to be making in this video, Earthcorian Dragonite. I wanted to make this Dragonite drastically different from Dratini and Dragonair, just like the Dragonite from Kanto was. So I made it look like Dragonair, but gave it a lighter color scheme and made it look like a flying type. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Earthcorian Dragonite, the water serpent Pokemon. Its ability and type are the same as its first 2 evolutions, and it was recently discovered that the Dragonite from Kanto was not the real form of the Dratini line, and that is why when Dragonair evolved, it drastically changed appearance. It changed because Dragonair was influenced by the buildings and houses around it. Earthcorian Dragonite is a true form of Dragonite, and it looks like this because it lives deep in the jungle, away from human contact. It glides effortlessly through water, and if the air is humid enough, it can glide in the air with its 2 wings. It can also hover in the air using them, but only for a few minutes. When angered, it will break everything around it. It has enough strength to tip over a cruise ship. Alright, yeah, so that's done. Those are the 2 regional forms I'm gonna make for this region. I might make more in the future, but I probably won't. So subscribe if you want more, and if you want to suggest a Pokemon that you want me to make, go do it in the comments, and yeah. So that's the end of this video, guys. Bye!